Down, folks, we are about to get this race underway, so as I always like to say, are you ready for some rando?
Yeah, I am. I know I am. Also, thank you, Meowsticks24, for the gift subscription to me for speed gaming. Appreciate it, I guess.
And here we go. Starting off in the sanctuary on here, we have Power Glove and Shovel right out the gate. Whoo boy, what a start.
With that Shovel in Link's house, that could be a location they could check immediately. That might even encourage the southern growth route to Kakariko, just so you can check for those bomb places as well.
Yep. Both Ginderdamus and Mikan and gilthflo all heading up to Uncle, while Walther taking the advantage there. He's heading over. Looks like he's going to run Houlihan Room right off the bat. We'll see if that pays out for him later on. We got hearts from the tree pool. And let's see if we can find out what items we're getting from Uncle. Woo, big 300 there from Uncle. Not bad. Get that early money.
Just a bomb capacity upgrade in the other chest, though. But yeah, 300. Great start for rupees. It'll allow you to get bombs in Kakariko if you absolutely need them. And at this point, that would put Walther over the edge, probably for enough for Zora as well. So yeah, that will be a good treasure to get in that one room.
All right, Ginderdamus and Mikan now going to take the south route into Kakariko Village. They're probably going to be checking the Sacred Grove since they got that shovel. Find out what that's hiding here. Meanwhile, gilthflo probably going to be making his way over to the Lost Woods.
Yeah, and Walther immediately, like not even going to Uncle Cave, sees that shovel. He is going to book it right over to the Grove, just for 20 rupees. But still, I mean, you kind of want to get rupees in the very early game anyway.
True. Early on, you know, a good amount of rupees certainly doesn't hurt. It's later on when you've already bought everything that rupees going. Ooh, bombs from the Hoarder over here on gilthflo's side. That's gonna be helpful.
Yeah, very, very helpful. And there's another one of those bush crabs like in the forest as well, so you can get even more bombs too. So definitely a good item to find there. That was a very brief look. Did you happen to see what was on the ledge in Lumberjack?
As a matter of fact, I did. It was a big 20, so probably not anything that. We've got triple bombs on the race game, so that's likely getting ignored as well. Let's see what the library's got for us here, while gilthflo is going to be checking the Lost Woods. Looks like a shield on the library. Probably not going to be seeing that.
And just a big 20 on the mushroom spot. And then here we have a 5 rupee. So nothing really in the forest, unfortunately.
No, a bit of a slow start for all of our runners so far. Let's see if Kakariko Village pays out here, because I think that's where we're going to start seeing some plays being made here. We've got a Matadapod in the tavern. Not all that helpful, but it does reveal some information on what's in pod, what if it's crystal or pendant. So, you know, overall, not too bad.
Yeah, that's right. For the Keysanity mode specifically, they decided to give the compasses and maps a little more utility, just to make their findings a little more useful. The map will reveal whether a dungeon is a crystal or pendant dungeon when you check the map. Otherwise, you don't know. And the compass will actually give you an item count in that specific dungeon. So,
yep. Speaking of compass, we found a compass for Ganon's Tower in the Chicken Shack, and we found the flute in the Thieves' Hideout and the book. Literacy right off the bat, not bad. Thieves' Hideout really paying off here.
Yeah, definitely.
And a map for Swamp there from the bottle vendor. Silvers in the back of the Thieves' Hideout. What a find!
Yeah, this Kakariko greenhouse is paying out dividends right now with items.
Let's see how the well plays out. We got 5 rupees right out the gate. Not too good. But let's see. We still got 4 more chests to find. Piece of heart in the back end. Let's see these last 3 chests. We have small key for Skull Woods, 10 arrows, and hook shot.
Oh, wow, nice. Considering they have not gone to Mini Moldworm Cave yet, getting that hook shot I think is really good. That'll just give them a weapon they can use to kill the Moldworms without having to use bombs.
Indeed. Yeah, we have no sword at this point. This is not a swordless race, so there's guaranteed to be a sword somewhere. We just got to find it. But having hookshot, not too bad a start here. And I suspect that gilthflo is probably going to be activating his flute here pretty soon because he's right there. Sure enough. Oh. No, he's not going to be activating his flute. I figured well, I guess he's going to finish up the rest of Kakariko, but I would have done it while I was right there.
Yeah, that's a interesting play right there. I would have definitely activated it as well. And right now, it's definitely seeming to point like they should be pointing our runners to Death Mountain at this point with the flute and the hookshot. A lot of items to pick up with just those 2 items alone.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a very big potential here. And sure enough, everyone rides for the Link to the Past National Anthem. And ladies and gentlemen, the goose is loose! Now a lot of our runners checking a lot of the same places that others have already checked. There's going to be a lot of similar routing here, similar spots to check here. But before long, we're going to start seeing some divergence heading to either the South Shore or, as we mentioned earlier, Death Mountain. A lot of potential items to find here. What do we find and where do we find it?
Yeah, at this point, Death Mountain does seem like a very likely play for gilthflo right after he activates the flute right here because he's already done the forest check and everything.
Oh, hold everything! Check on Mikan's side. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an early pet check. What's it going to be?
6 minutes in, we have...
Just couch cash!
In the chat, someone asking if we've gotten any notable keys yet. From what I remember, the only key we've gotten is a key to Skullwoods, which, honestly, not really that useful. You don't need really any small keys to get through Skullwoods. All you need to do is just find 2 loose keys in the dungeon, and you can get through basically everything.
And the chat is disappointed. Everyone's like, just restart, get a new seed. All right, Ginderdamus now checking the dam, finds triple bombs in the dam chest. Not quite what he was looking for there.
Yeah, and gilthflo checking the race game by actually going through the race game. That is a strat you'll normally see people do. They'll go through the race game without checking it in Keysanity because it's more likely there will be an item on the race game in Keysanity just with the keys kind of added to the mix. So it's kind of it's better odds to check that, but it can still, unfortunately, not pay off.
Yeah, we got a small key soaked in the dam there. It's for Desert Palace. We have a 5 arrow upgrade, a map for Tower of Hera, and 300 more rupees over there in the back end of Escape. Oh, and Walther now making an early play on Desert Palace.
Well, he does have that book.
True, but without the boots or a fire source, this is a bit of a gamble here. I don't know if that's going to play out, but we'll see how it does. Meanwhile, Ginger now going to be working on the mini Moldworm Cave. Let's see what 5 items he gets out of here. We have Piece of Heart, Heart Container. Hey, that's always nice. Blue Tunic. Hey, I'll take that. Big 20 and another big 20. So not too great, but hey, I'll take a Blue Tunic at least. After finding a, I think it was a bomb upgrade there in the Desert Palace. And Ginger now going to take this fast route over to the Ice Rod Cave. Since Walther did not find anything significant in Desert Palace, he's going to go ahead and opt out early and probably stop over to Agana's Cave. So let's see what both the Ice Rod Cave and Agana have in store for us here today.
And unfortunately, due to the routing that he took, got a death from gilthflo up there.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but due to the routing that Walther took, he does not have the small key for Desert, so he was unable to check those other 2 chests that the other runners will be able to if they decide to hit desert early as well.
No, but he does find a big key for Swamp Palace inside of Agathis Cave. Not essential since Swamp Palace doesn't actually require the big key, but you never know. That might still have a full if the big chest has anything. And Mikan can be the first one to check out the mountain.
Yeah, this is where the seed has really been pushing the runners to go to with that flute and hook shot, so there is a pretty good possibility we'll find something up here.
At this point, I would not put it past it. Let's see what we have. We've got Spectacle Rock Cave, and now, of course, we'll be heading over to the left side, or right side, I should say, and checking out what his has. Let's see what's on Spectacle Rock here today. We have just 50 rupees. Let's see what the cave has. What does the cave have? Titan's Mitts!
Ooh, that's a good item.
That means they are just a moon pearl away from Dark World access. Oh, and Ginger also heading over to desert. Find out there's a compass on the desert ledge. That could not exactly useful. We'll see.
Yeah, if you've done a lot of Keysanities or just randomizers in general, the compass is probably one of the more useless items just because if you know your dungeon counts, you don't really need them. So you can kind of opt to skip compasses. But if you're trying to run the game still for the first time and you're still learning, it could be a good utility, safe item to have just in case.
All right, gilthflo now heading over to the back end of Escape. Mikan now going to make his play onto the right side of Death Mountain. We've got at least 8 potential chests over there between the Paradox Cave and the Spiral Cave. Plus, we can find out what's on the floating island. Could be quite a few good items over there. We'll see what happens here shortly.
But first, going through desert, we get 50 rupees in the compass chest, I believe, and in the big key chest. Once we get through it, we're going to have...
the hammer!
Hammer! Ooh.
That means we have multiple forms of Dark World access. I'm suspecting we may not be seeing an Aghanim 1 play, though this is still pretty early on. And we have a map for Turtle Rock and a map for Misery Mire in the Paradox Cave in the bottom end. Those will be helpful later on because that tells us crystal. We also can confirm that Tower of Hera was a pendant dungeon. I didn't see which pendant, but one of them.
Yep, that is what I saw as well. And yeah, I find it kind of humorous that the medallion maps for the dungeons that are activated with medallions were in that cave, in the same cave right next to each other.
Find a piece of heart and triple bombs, and we have a compass for Tower of Hera, and a small key to Turtle Rock, and a big 20. So Paradox Cave not paying out too great, but not exactly useless either.
Yeah, definitely not. And then he's going to be heading over to Spiral Cave now after he makes this little bomb jump right here. It saves a couple of screen transitions, so it's always good to get this one.
Now Ginderdamus is going to take the regular way into Death Mountain here. He's going to pick up the old man along the way. Who knows? We'll see what he has to offer. And let's see what's on the floating island. Piece of heart on the floating island, not going to be picked up. And now it's time for the Walk of Shame as Mikan's going to take the slow route into the Spiral Cave.
Meanwhile, Walther is taking a trip inside Hyrule Castle to check out the first part of Escape.
Yeah, that hasn't been checked yet. This could be essential here. We'll see how this plays out.
One common area that we have not seen yet is the Eastern Palace area. Sashrawa's hut still needs to be checked, and then there are some items in Eastern Palace we can get as well.
Indeed. Walther finding a small key to Palace of Darkness here. Oh, and gilthflo taking another death, unfortunately. And I forgot what Mikan just picked up. It was definitely another small key, but I forget to where. But he's going to make play on Desert now.
And at this point, this will give Mikan the hammer as well, since I believe he does have the small key to desert. So he'll be essentially the closest to Dark World access at this point. It's just going to be nailing down where that Moon Pearl is going to end up being.
Indeed, it all comes down to the Moon Pearl, and we still have a few places left to check for it. Looks like we just some rupees from the old man. I just now noticed that. Now let's see what the second chest here. Got big 20 for Walther here in the back in the dungeon area of escape. And there's still Zelda's treasure chest coming up. Let's see what's on the torch. Just some arrows or an arrow upgrade. I couldn't tell which one, but it's definitely useless. So boots may not be required this seed. And to answer a question in chat, we're how many people are running this race? We got close to just over 40 people running this race. It looks like, or close to it. So we've got a pretty big race here, including some major names like Willard J. Bradley, Christos Owen, Pryor, Problems IRL, and more.
Yeah, it would not surprise me to see a lot of these Keysanity races jump up in attendance as we get closer to the Keysanity tournament coming up at the end of the month. Just a green rupee in Zelda's cell, so nothing good from really the first part of Escape.
Yeah, gotta try.
Yeah.
So now the question is where do we go next? Again, I think the call is the Eastern Palace area.
Yeah, at this point, it's looking like it's either Eastern Palace area or Zora is in the logic right now, and there are a lot of rupees from all of our runners, so that could be a potential location too.
Yeah, look, I believe all of our runners indeed have enough rupees for Zora. So that could be a play, though I think a lot of them are probably going to wait until they can get either Moon Pearl or Flippers so that they can check all of those areas.
Answer another question in chat. Yes, there is a No Major Glitches tournament coming up as well. That's a little bit later on. I think that's in March, if I'm not mistaken. It's after the Keysanity tournament's already started, though, so Keysanity's coming up a little sooner.
Yeah, the NMG tournament starts on March 25th.
And yeah, Mikan was looking like he is making the play to start checking the eastern area. Highest probability for the item to be here, again, like I mentioned earlier. At this point, it's either Eastern Palace or Zora at this point, which is where our progression is going to be.
Yeah, Walther now right behind him. He's heading into the eastern area. So let's see what this old sage is hiding in his closet. Green pendant is in Skull Woods. So that actually is some useful information there in case we want to get that later. Let's see what we have. We have piece of heart, our fighter sword,
Ooh.
And a big key to Turtle Rock.
Not bad, not bad.
Not bad at all. So we are still on the hunt for the big key to Eastern Palace. Can't check much here. And Mikan is opting not to go in there to check those first few items. He's going to go straight off to Death Mountain. Oh, that's right. He didn't pick up the old man earlier.
That's right, he did not. And if Mikan does have the hammer, he can actually check out the first two chests of Tower of Hera as well. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, this could be a good play. And I think Ginderdamus is doing a similar route here because he's heading up that way as well. And he does have the hammer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, let's keep our eyes on Walther here. He's the first one to enter Eastern Palace. We know there's at least 3-4 chests he can check right now. He can't check the big chest, but he can check all the other chests on the bottom end, and we might find something there.
It would be quite the coincidence that these next 3 chests are the lamp, bow, and the big key. That would actually immediately put everything in Eastern Palace within the logic, but that's probably not going to happen.
It's already not happening since we found a piece of heart in the first chest there.
Mm-hmm. The hammer was in Desert Palace. You'll actually see gilthflo getting it very, very shortly.
Yep.
And there's the Moon Pearl. It is in Tower of Hera.
Moon Pearl. Oh, near Vanilla there. That is interesting. Heart container from Walther there in Eastern Palace. Ginger taking a death in tower repair. I think that was an intentional death warp there.
Yeah, I mean, even if it was accidental, I mean, he was low health anyway, so it's good just to get the refill. So, yeah.
Indeed, find a big 20. Now, I don't think they have the big key, so that's as much as they can check for now. But still, we have the Moon Pearl now, so Dark World access is available. Mikan going to check the tablet here, the Ether tablet, and finds just triple bombs.
Aww.
Let's see what Walther finds here. Ooh, we got some Mountain Dew in the Eastern Palace there.
That'll open up the Sick Kid location as well.
Mikan now picking up their Moon Pearl. Walther now navigating the dark rooms of Eastern Palace. One of the easier dark rooms to do. Probably one of those ones that you will inevitably learn how to do as you do more of these speedrun races.
Yeah, Eastern Palace and the Old Man Cave seem to be the most common ones you want to learn first, just because they're very short and, you know, they only give you one item, but still, just they can be combined with a lot of other item checks too, so it's kind of good to learn those. We already saw the small key for Skullwoods, never mind.
Well, they're now going to do the normal strat for the big key chest. What you're normally supposed to do here is you destroy all the enemies. The anti-fairy split will then split off from the pot, allowing you to open it, pull it up, and get the button. Sometimes, if you're good enough, you can take a damage boost and just rush it, if you know how. But let's see if this pays off. Nope, just 10 arrows.
Mikan, taking the Turtle Rock entrance to Dark World, sees that Bombos is the medallion required for Turtle Rock, and now he's going to check the Dark World, Dark Death Mountain area for more items.
Indeed, and Ginderdamus heading over to what I like to call the Prince Cave, because in these later versions of the randomizer, it's the artist formerly known as Hype Cave. Let's see if it's actually hype today, given that we got the Keysanity. The odds are much higher here. Find the Bug Net in the Super Bunny Cave, along with a key to Ganon's Tower. Looks like 50 rupees for Ginderdamus, a compass to Desert. Ooh, we've got a big key to Misery Mire, another piece of heart, and more Mountain Dew. Oh, and Mikan now heading into the Hookshot Cave. Now that he's got the hookshot, there's 4 chests in here to check. Let's see what he finds. Oh, someone called Phantom Ryu, because that's gotta be Kane.
Small key to Misery Mire.
Heart container.
Heart container.
And Ice Ride.
Ooh.
So Hookshot Cave loaded here today. Not bad call there for Mikan. Let's see what old Stumpy has. He has a small key to Misery Mire.
On the subject of Misery Mire, much like Skullwoods, Misery Mire is a dungeon where you actually do not need any of the small keys. You can find all the small keys you need throughout the dungeon just by going in there normally. You do need the big key, though, so being on the lookout for the big key is very, very important.
Indeed. And Mikan's heading over the Mire area. Is he going to do an early check?
I think so. I mean, may as well at this point have all the items to do it. More places to check. Quake was the medallion required for Mire.
Ginderdamus finding a small key to Turtle Rock in the digging game. And we find a compass for Swamp Palace inside of the Mire Shack, and a small key to Ganon's Tower. And Ginderdamus is going to pick up old Jeremiah right now and drop him off. It's going to have to take him on a world tour since he doesn't have the mirror yet, but let's see what the Village of Outcasts holds. Let's start off here in the Bombable Hut. We find a heart container there. Not bad. Could use some extra safeties right now. We're still pretty low on health at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see what the chess game holds. We've got a single bomb and a big key to Thieves Town.
Ooh, and what a good time to get that, too.
Yeah, once he finishes dropping off Jeremiah, he can go right into Thieves Town and start checking that.
The interesting thing about Ginderdamus's position, though, is he actually does not have the sword yet. He did not go to the eastern area, so if he does opt to take care of all of Thieves Town, with exception to the big chest, because he doesn't have the small key to get in there yet, he can only use the hammer at this point to hurt Blind.
Yeah, that would be trouble. All right, Ice Palace and Turtle Rock are crystals 5 and 6, according to the bomb shop. That's going to be a challenge, though, because given the Keysanity race, but at least we have that information now.
Yeah, for sure. It is. I definitely like that the developers kind of added that quirk in, where if you talk to Sashrala, he tells you where the green pendant's going to end up being, and the bomb shop owner tells you where the 5 and 6 crystals are. That way, you don't have to really depend on maps as much. You really just need to find the maps for the other 2 pendant dungeons, and then you know basically the whole distribution of all the crystals at that point.
Indeed. All right, Ginderdamus now heading over to the swordsman's hut, going to drop off our little dwarven friend, and Walter is going to make the play on Zora. All right, let's see what our swordsmiths are working on today, and it's a big key. They're a keysmith today. We're gonna Easter. Oh, there's the Eastern Palace big key.
Ooh. Unfortunately,
that is huge.
They still don't have the bow to complete it yet, though, but yeah, it is a good thing to find for sure.
Especially for Ginderdamus, who has not been over to the Eastern Palace area yet, so he can check that big chest right away. This works out really good for him.
That is very true, and that could always be the bow, too. It could be a vanilla bow, for all we know.
Hey, the trolliest thing a randomizer can do is to put an item in its vanilla location. So Ginderdamus now going to make that play. He's going to get his fighter sword, and he's going to head into Eastern Palace, and who knows what else he'll find that the others haven't yet. In the meantime, let's see what Walter's doing here at Zora, and Mikan heading over to the Pay Cave. All right, is it life lesson, love lesson, or something of worth here from Zora? It is Bombos!
Whoa!
Turtle Rock accessible, and we have Fire Rod in the Pay Cave!
Wow. How many small keys to Turtle Rock do we have? Is this?
We've gotten quite a few, admittedly. I think Turtle Rock's starting to look really good right now.
Yeah, like it's starting to push us into that direction. That's what I was reacting to at this point. We have 2.
Cow.
We have 2 small keys for Turtle Rock. That's almost enough. We need 1 more. Once we find that other one, yeah, Turtle Rock is fully completable. It'll be a hard Trinex fight, but it is completable, and it does have a lot of items in there.
What an amazing early seed here. This is incredible. I mean, we're only half an hour in. Look at all the stuff we found already. I mean, just look at Mikan's tracker and look at all those items we found. At the rate we're going, we're gonna have a jet seat at this rate. Oh, gilthflo taking a death on the anti-fairies. Mikan now making the play on Thieves Town here after getting that big key. Finds a big 20 in the first chest. gilthflo now heading up to Zora. He's gonna be happy with his decision. That's gonna be a lot of worth right there. Piece of heart there on Mikan's end.
Gilthflo will be getting his bombos very, very soon. He is in the Zora area. He's going to be picking that up very shortly.
Indeed. Heart container for Mikan in Thieves Town. And another piece of hearts. A lot of love in Thieves Town here. And Ginderdamus about to find out what's in that big chest. What is it going to be? Is it going to be something good?
Purple rock, small key.
No, just a piece of heart.
Okay, so yeah, Mikan is going through Thieves Town. Unfortunately, I don't think he has the small key for Thieves Town yet, so he will not be able to clear out the entire dungeon. But with Keysanity, I find that even if you can't full complete a dungeon, it's almost better to still kind of go through it if you can at least complete it, because there's just a lot of items you can get, and you might have to come back later anyway, like getting some progression in here that'll even open up that big chest location. So sometimes you're just going to have to hedge your bets and then just kind of take the gamble, even if it means you can't full complete a dungeon.
Indeed, though, it is a bit of a risk here. And, oh, Walther now in Dark Death Mountain here without the Moon Pearl. We have his bunny sprite on screen. He did not go to Tower of Hera.
He is doing the Super Bunny cave. This is very, very, very small minor glitch where you can actually open the 2 chests in this cave. Whenever you fall down a hole with the bunny sprite, you temporarily gain access to Summon Link's actions, and it is enough for you to open the 2 chests that are in this cave.
This is precisely why we call it the Super Bunny Cave, is for this glitch right here. Ginderdamus is now going to pick up some blue potion over at the potion shop. That could come in handy later. And well, we have, it looks like a key to Ganon's tower and the bug net. I think we saw that earlier.
Yeah.
Mikan now going to pick up the maiden here. He at least has fighter sword, so he's going to be able to fight blind here. Let's see what the chest has. We've got Master Sword!
Ooh. And being at full health right now, that's actually another way to fight blind using sword beams, but I'm sure Mikan is more than comfortable with getting up and close with blind to finish the fight. That is correct. Unknown availability. The Moon Pearl can never be in Super Bunny Cave, which is funny because when I started playing Randomizer, that was actually not the case. Moon Pearl could be in those chests, and in my very first seed, that was a case where it was in there. So it could have happened back then, but these days, no, it'll never be there.
Yeah, the logic that they use is glitchless logic, which means no glitches are taken into account when doing these races. Yes, you can do minor glitches here and there, but the logic will never account for them in there. And we've got Tempered Sword from Blind!
Whoa, 2 sword upgrades in Thieves Town.
Not bad at all, as Mikan picks up their first crystal.
Yeah, and with 3 sword upgrades and the silver arrows, whenever we get that bow, we're going to be more than equipped for the cannon fight, I think, in this particular seed. So won't have to worry about any silverless and master sword strats, because it's pretty guaranteed that our runners will get that tempered sword at this point.
Oh, absolutely. Tempered Sword Silver Ganon is pretty much like the minimal optimal strat that you'd want. I mean, you can do Master Sword Silverless if you want to, but you'd have to be pretty brave for that. Mm-hmm. But having Tempered Sword and Silvers just means that it's as good as you can get, only being better by the Butter Sword, but you don't need the Butter Sword. All right, Ginderdamus and Mikan now going to be working on Skull Woods here. We have found the big key, if I'm not mistaken, for Skull.
I think so, and we actually have gotten quite a few Skullwood small keys, which does make the speed up. Oh, there's the small key for Thieves Town.
He's going to be kicking himself here in a minute.
But yeah, with those keys, we can actually get through here pretty quickly, and we can actually save getting one of the other laying around small keys, and another small key for Palace of Darkness as well.
Okay, maybe we don't have the big key for Skullwoods yet.
Mikan slash at the treasure chest as soon as he saw it.
Frustration slashes, ladies and gentlemen. He has them. But I guess we have not found the Skull Woods big key, because otherwise Ginger would have gone for the big chest there. So we are still looking out for that. Ginderdamus now going to head over to the bumper cave to check what's up there. Can't get it yet, but having that knowledge could be helpful. And it's a small key. Ooh, that's a tease.
It is. It really is, because you can't tell which small key that is until you pick it up. And I've had many times where a location like that, you go to get it and you find out it's just a small key for Skullwoods or Misery Mire or Ganon's Tower when you're more than covered or don't even need the keys by that point.
We find a heart container there in the other end of Skullwoods. Now, Mikan with Tempered Sword and Fire Rod. I think the play is obvious. He's going straight to Mothula.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good play at this point. I mean, it is for a pendant, but it is the green pendant that does give an item as well. So at this point, yeah, taking out Mothula I think would be a really good move.
Yep, gilthflo now opening up Turtle Rock. He can't go into it yet because he does not have the Cane of Samaria. However, we know where it is. He's right there. He may go back even and check at least a couple chests there since he has the ability to. All right, so let's see. Back into Skull Woods, we find the compass for Misery Mire in that one chest there. We'll see if that comes into play later. Ginderdamus now working on Thieves Town. Now, he has an advantage here because he has that extra key. He could check the big chest, and if that has something, that's going to be huge.
Yes, it definitely would be.
gilthflo finally, Walther now finally getting his Moon Pearl, so all of our runners have a Moon Pearl now. Dark World is fully accessible on all fronts. But oh boy, this race is starting to get really interesting to see where these runners are going.
I think it'd be very funny if the item in the Thieves Town big chest was the big key for Skullwoods. Which means you could not avoid a double dip in either scenario.
No, that is very true. All right, Mikan now gonna take on Mothula here. He's got full health, Tempered Sword, and Fire Rod, so this should be a pretty good fight for him. And very quick fight.
Yeah, and just, sorry, go ahead.
I say just a piece of heart there.
Yeah, and we get the green pendant as well. As I was going to say, a lot of people don't know this, but taking out Mothula with the Tempered Sword is actually faster than the Fire Rod. So you kind of saw it in that case right there. It normally takes 8 Fire Rod shots to even take down Mothula. I think Mikan got 1 Fire Rod shot, but then like just 3 normal Tempered Sword strikes and it went down immediately. So yeah, it does way more damage than the Fire Rod.
Yes, Way of Time, the Swamp Palace, or Skullwoods was the green pendant. We actually had the map to confirm that, so we have the green pendant now. The question is, what does Harsala have? And Mikan now, he's going to do something he hasn't done yet. He's going to go ahead and check the back end of Escape. We know there's not much there, but it's still worth the check.
Anyway, currently watching Ginger's screen because we will be seeing a new item in just a second here. Going to be checking.
Oh, wait a minute. Mikan, no, he's going to Aga.
Okay, there is a chest here. Did they get a castle key that I didn't see?
Oh, wow. We have the lamp in Thieves Town. That was the big chest item.
Ooh. I hope Mikan knows dark rooms.
Yeah, especially since he's going up Aga Tower. And only triple bombs in that first room, which means he is already done because he does not have a small key.
Okay, so yeah.
And yes, folks, castle tower keys are included in the Keysanity Randomizer, so you can find keys to Angle 1 throughout the map, and that's tricky because that means there could be items inside of inside of the castle tower. So you have to consider that in your routing. That even if you don't have to fight Angle 1, you may have to go up that way to find certain critical items.
Yes, that is true. And in order to get both treasure chests in the castle, you just need one of the 2 castle tower keys. And because of that, it does essentially add 2 more blocks in the Aghanim logic. So in Keysanity Seeds, it's a little less likely that you'll need to actually fight Aghanim, but it is always good to find that one castle tower key just so you can get both chests while you're going up there.
Ginger now with a very quick fight there on Blind, getting his tempered sword and now getting his first crystal. Gotta love finding that chain guard with tempered sword. Makes it so much easier. Ginderdamus now going to check the peg cave. He's going to be very happy with what he finds in there, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Oh, I think Mikan's about to make the play on pod.
Yeah, it looks to be the case, and something I've been learning a lot from Keysanity runs is that going to pod early, even if you can't complete it, not always a bad decision, because there always seems to be some kind of progression in these Keysanity seeds that are in here. It's almost uncanny. I just always seem to have, like, there's an answer in here that you want to take a look at. That or Ice Palace, for that matter, which I think they do have. Oh, no flippers yet. Never mind.
All right, so Mikan now gonna have pay a visit to everyone's favorite little extortionist, Kiki the Monkey, 110 rupees down the drain, and heading into what would normally be the Mullet Mansion, because in other modes. Oh, wait a minute! Hold that for a minute. Ginderdamus finding the Cane of Brian from the purple chest.
That does put Spike Cave into the logic.
Indeed, excellent play there. It looks like Ginderdamus now going to fake flipper here. And Mikan finding a small key to Ice Palace over in here in pod. Not helpful now because we really don't have much access to Ice Palace. But
Boots!
We got boots on Lake Highly Island. Das Boot!
Gonna need that mirror first before we can get that, by logic anyway.
No kidding. And, oh, Ginderdamus was going for the water walking, but got sniped. If you are using the fake flipper trick and get hit, it is an instant death regardless of how much health you have or any fairies you have. Good night, Irene. That's the end of that. We are not going to see what's in the Waterfall of Wishing just yet. He's going to have to try again.
Yeah, the reason why it's an instant death, for people who don't know, in the vanilla version, or if you do that trick and you get hit, you get put in a position where the game doesn't know where to respawn you, so you get kind of in a soft lock state where you have to like save and quit in order to actually even do anything. So the developers decided to just make it easy and just, okay, we'll just give you a death just so you just get out of there immediately.
But give Ginderdamus credit there for their persistence. They're going to try again. All right, let's see what else Mikan finds here in pod. We've got a compass for, well, compass for pod. That works.
Okay, yeah.
Take that. And 5 bomb upgrade. Now Ginderdamus is able to pull off the water walking trick. We got a Fisher Price shield. Hey, look at that.
Fisher Price shield and a piece of heart. Unfortunately, not progression, so didn't really pay out, but he has to go over here anyway for that Bombos medallion from Zora, so, you know, it's going to be still worthwhile coming into this area.
Indeed. Also, to answer a question in chat, no, if you have a fairy on you, it will not activate, because then if you were to be revived with the fairy, you'd be once again put into that soft lock position. So the programmers have decided, hey, doesn't matter if you have a fairy or not, you're dead.
Ooh, just a single validation arrow in the bottom part of pod. Unfortunately, not any progression there. That's very strange from what I'm used to with pod.
Yeah. Also, Lone W Hunt. No, the developers of the randomizer have made it so that no seed that's generated is incompletable. Every seed is 100% completable. It's just a matter of where you need to go to find the items. They have tried to prevent as many potential soft locks as possible.
And if you do so happen to find one, consult a developer immediately and inform them of that bug. But yeah, they've gone through many lengthy processes to make sure that every scenario is completable. This has been in development for a very long time.
All right, so Mikan now picking up some blue potion as well. Both gilthflo and Walther come working on Thieves Down. Actually, Walther finishing Thieves Down, getting his tempered sword and his first crystal. We're starting to see the seed open up a little bit here.
Yeah, a little bit, but there are definitely some things missing. The mirror, the flippers, just some things that would really kind of just really start to get this seed moving. I'm thinking Turtle Rock might be the answer.
Actually, cold that thought. We didn't realize this. Mikan had found Quake and is heading into Misery Mire.
Okay, Quake was on Sasharala. That was the green pendant item, so that was necessary.
Yep, Skull Woods was indeed required. So Mikan now going to make the play on Misery Mire here. Not a bad call. We've gotten quite a bit for Mire, so this is probably the right call.
Mm-hmm. Although I am still potentially waiting on that Turtle Rock play, because we know where items are to get in there. It's just none of our runners have all the items to actually make a lot of progress in there yet. One of our runners is missing at least one thing in every scenario, it seems like.
Indeed. All right, so let's see what Mikan finds in her red tunic. So now Sonic is supersonic. That's how it works here for this sprite. I saw this before. I loved it.
Yeah, you thought he needed 7 Chaos Emeralds? Well, in Randomizer, you'd be wrong. He just needs a pair of red clothes, I guess.
Maybe the 7 Chaos Emeralds are kind of imbued into the red tunic. That's why it's so powerful. That's why it's got such a great defense.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I can get behind that explanation.
Ginderdamus now defeating Mothula, getting his piece of heart and his green pendant. So he's gonna be glad he did when he finds out what's on what Sir Hostile is hiding. And Bloomerang and their big key chest.
Wow, the chat pointing out something very interesting. You are collecting crystals, 7 crystals throughout the game. They're not emeralds, but...
You know what? That makes so much sense.
Link to the Past was a Sonic game all along.
The truth exposed. 5-arrow upgrade there, not much. All right, so Mikan now gonna head over and check the big chest. see what that has to offer. Hopefully we can find something good out of there. Walther now getting the big key from the from our locksmiths here. What's our big chest have? It has just a piece of heart. Oh, flippers!
Ooh, okay, that is the item we've been looking for.
Yep, this seed just opened up big for Mikan, and we found the big key to Tower of Hera.
Oh, wow, that makes that completable now too.
True, but that's gonna be a gamble because, well, there's a couple chests they could get out of it, so it's not too bad. But bear in mind, Tower of Hera is a pendant dungeon, so that might dissuade them from completing it. Then again, Tower of Hera is a quick dungeon; they probably do it anyway. And 10 arrows from the big key chest, or not big key chest, just that other chest.
Yeah, if they find themselves back on Death Mountain again, potentially for the Turtle Rock play, they could very quickly check out Tower of Hera and just treat it just like a normal overworld cave in general.
Oh, it looks like Ginderdamus is going to check out the pyramid here. We haven't seen this yet. And looks like it was just... Oh, yeah, it was just arrows, I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too, so... chances are we're probably right.
And Ted, he's going to head up and check Catfish. Oh, I guess we did not find the big key. Well, no, he had to have found the big key.
Yeah. I think he was turned away just from the fact that he didn't have the lamp yet. Going through Mire Dark Rooms, it's really, really difficult and can be a pain in the butt, especially that first room. So I can understand maybe not wanting to mess with that right now on the off chance he might find the lamp later, and they don't even know if that's a pendant dungeon yet or not.
Very true, very true. Not to mention, of course, that, you know, we know where the lamp is. He doesn't know how to get to that yet. He doesn't realize that he's got to go back into Thieves Town.
Yeah.
Mikan does have the big key for Thieves Town. He got in Skull Woods. He just doesn't know that the lamp is in the big chest there. All right. I will be right back. I got to go take care of something, but I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay. So it is actually kind of interesting. I'm noticing on gilthflo's tracker, at least, gilthflo does actually have items to potentially go into Turtle Rock at this point. I don't know what his key situation is, but he should have, if he's checked a lot of the same places, he should have at least the 2 small keys we talked about earlier, and that will access a couple of chests. So if there is a Turtle Rock play, that could be a likely candidate to check that first, at least right now anyway. But gilthflo does take down Mothula, is going to get his green pendant and piece of heart. And Ginderdamus doing a little bit of rupee farming, noticing that he's very low on rupees right now. Going to be stocking up, maybe for a potential pod check in the future.
Okay, I'm back. What'd I miss?
Welcome back. Nothing much. Haven't seen anything new just yet. Did notice that gilthflo does actually have all the items for Turtle Rock, and it looks like Mikan does too, so that could be in the future very, very soon.
Indeed.
Mikan doesn't have Bombos, but he will have it very shortly.
Yeah, now that he's got the flippers, he's going to check out the Waterfall of Wishing and Zora. Mikan playing us a little tune there as he walks into Zora's domain. Also, everyone's reacting to Mikan seeing the boots on Lake Hylia Island. Yeah, Sonic got to go fast, and he needs those boots for that.
I think with that Bombos find, Mikan might know where he needs to go next, so... Oh, no, okay, not yet. Still gonna check out a few other things first.
Also, shout out to Paini, I think it's not pronounced Paini82 for the Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate the support. Now, where is Mikan headed? Has he checked Prince Cave yet?
I don't remember if he did or not. I want to say he did, but maybe he's thinking about what exactly he needs to. Oh, I think I know it. He may have came here and realized, oh, I don't have the mirror yet, and then maybe he was considering Swamp.
He was wanting that, and he was wanting those boots.
Mm-hmm.
Max Post Pie, I call it the Prince Cave because it's the artist formerly known as Hype Cave, but it's not. With later versions of the logs, it's not as hype as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ginderdamus now heading into Misery Mire, and unlike Mikan, he has the lamp. He could full clear this if he chooses to.
Oh, that's true. Yes, he could. Wait, he does not have Samaria on the tracker anyway.
Oh, he didn't go to Hookshot Cave.
No, he has not gone there. So, Mikan going into Ice Palace, not Ice Cave. Gonna be checking out in here. Not a bad play. He can complete it. You don't need the big key to complete Ice Palace. You do by the logic, but if you know how to do the Ice Palace bomb jump, you do not need that big key. So.
Yeah, the only thing I'll be missing out on is the big chest, which is a risky factor, admittedly, but
Yes, it is always risky, but
ooh, we got some blue potion there, free blue potion there on Mikan's end, not bad. It looks like something happened with Walther on his end. I missed what happened there. Apparently his sprite went missing for a minute, and he had to.
wow.
I think he got soft locked.
Maybe.
Someone wants to clip what happened. We could see what happened.
Yeah, yeah. Admittedly, I'm a little confused myself right now, so.
Everyone's saying rogue stealth there, but he's playing a dark elf. If I know my armors correctly.
So we definitely have an interesting race at this point. All four of our runners are in different dungeons.
Yeah, it's a bit chaotic here.
Dungeons 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Epic velocity, absolutely. The randomizer is so much fun to do casually. Keysanity is a bit more challenging, so I would suggest starting with open mode to kind of get the hang of it, or maybe even standard mode, which starts you off like the vanilla game. But yeah, it's so much fun.
It's definitely a process where you kind of want to work your way up, one step at a time. Big key for Skull Woods. That puts that chest back in play.
Indeed. Let me check this clip out here that Unknown Availability sent me here. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, he got hit by a dead rock, and it turned him invisible.
Oh, okay.
And he had to save quit because he couldn't see what he was doing.
Mikan finding a small key for the dungeon he is currently in, Ice Palace.
That works out really good because he's right by the big chest. And he finds a map for Desert Palace, too. That helps.
Yeah, I can finally know what that dungeon is.
Yeah, well, we've already accounted for 2 of the pendants. One in Skull and one in Tower of Hera, so who knows? Ooh, half magic. That's a pretty fine for Ice Palace.
Oh yeah, definitely. With Cold Stare, it'll just make the fight a lot easier and a lot safer because you can just kind of use the Fire Rod to keep the Cold Stare puffs away once you break the Ice Shell.
Gilthflo picking up his Cane of Brian there, so now he has both members of Team Hell No, if you know your wrestling terms. All right. Again, time to check the big chest, buddy. Don't forget about it. No, you got the big key. Why aren't you checking the big chest?
No, he got a small key.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Thought you said you had the big key. That was my mistake.
No, not small key. So the interesting thing about what Mikan's doing right here is this is actually not within logic. So if he gets a progression item here, there's something he missed somewhere which would lead him to the big key to Ice Palace, because he wouldn't normally have it in this case since he used a minor glitch to get to the Cold Stare fight.
Indeed. Also, point out something Alpha Channel mentioned in the chat. One thing you would normally be used to with Randomizer is that you would listen for the music to let you know if you don't have the if you don't check the map, you can use the music in the dungeon to let you know if it's a crystal or a pendant, but you don't have that luxury here. Keysanity automatically changes all the music to the Light World dungeon music, so you have no idea going in if it's a crystal or a pendant.
Mikan does get the powder and one of the 5/6 crystals from Cold Stare, so that does open up an item location. Will that be the item that he needs? We don't know.
Well, halfway. Oh yeah, that was almost a magic bat, and it puts him halfway towards Pyramid Fairy, and he might be making the play for the other one. We'll see. And we can now confirm Desert Palace is crystal number 2.
Okay, so Meyer could still be a pendant. Actually, I realized we should know what Meyer is because we got the map with Meyer in the same place where they got the Turtle Rock map.
Oh, that's right. All right, well, we'll have to double check our maps later once someone pulls it up. But let's see what the magic bat has for us. According to the tracker, Mr. Meyer's a crystal.
Okay, I was looking at the left trackers, that's why.
And we have a small key to Tower of Hera. So there's our basement key, making Tower of Hera look a little more approachable right now.
And gilthflo is going to be able to do something that neither of the other runners who were here before were able to do. He has the Cane of Samaria, he has the lamp. He can finish Misery Mire.
Also, shout-outs to our trackers, Dawning Dark and IB Karma, for trying to keep up with all the chaos going on in these 4 races.
Yeah, I've done tracking for 4-person races before. It's very, very chaotic. So definitely thanks to them for kind of helping us keep up to date with all the items, because there's just a lot of stuff to keep track of, especially in Keysanity. And it does look like Mikan is doing the thing that I want to do. First, going to check Tower of Hera first, because he does have those items to complete it. But afterwards, T-Rock play, looking pretty likely.
Very true, especially if he does find that last key he needs inside of Tower of Hera. So both Ginger and Walther now working on Ice Palace, while Mikan's now working his way up Tower of Hera into areas we have not seen yet. That's where the action is right now. What are these 2 chests, and what does Moldorm have on them? We've got 50 rupees from the small chest. He's going to bomb jump over to the big chest here, it looks like. Gets across and finds a small key to Turtle. There's our Turtle Rock key.
Okay, yep, Turtle Rock is in the logic fully now.
Yep, that is without a doubt the next play to make.
Actually, there is one thing I do have to say about that in regards to that. Turtle Rock is fully completable, but I think in this particular case, you can't get that one, the big key chest, though. Because I think there's 4 Turtle Rock keys, but getting 3 will allow you to at least beat Trinex and get all the items except that one item, so...
We'll just have to hope that one's not anything important here, as Mikan taking on what Lee likes to call Trolldorm, but he is not trolling today. And he drops the compass for Skull Woods. Well, that's kind of useless, and he gets the blue pendant.
Oh yeah, and that's right. Mimic Room is also not going to be on the table either, because don't have the mirror to even get there.
True, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to go ahead and make the play for the basement now, which is not a bad call to make. Because if that basement could have something, it could be huge.
Yeah, right now it's looking like the mirror is potentially the item that's kind of blocking things right now. Because it's blocking the boots, it's blocking access in the swamp. And, you know, if there are items in that Mimic Cave location, it's blocking something there too. So, mirror is a big block, a roadblock that we're having to deal with right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Raging Reynolds, your hope is already gone. We've already checked the pedestal early. It was just couch cash.
Yeah, the dream died 6 minutes into the run.
Mikan, what are you doing?
Yeah, Mikan's just standing there. Maybe his coffee break went a little long.
That's the thing I can think of. Maybe he's kind of stuck in the bathroom right now.
Maybe.
There are runners who actually do use this opportunity to get,
That's
his
true,
coffee
yeah.
break or a bathroom break. So maybe his bathroom break a little longer than expected there.
Sonic just contemplating his life right there on those blue pegs. Do I really just want to go fast all the time? Am I moving through life way too fast?
There he goes. And unfortunately, he went the wrong way and got knocked off the peg, so he has to bring them back down. But he's going to get through. And he's going to use his fire rod. Let's see what the basement holds. And just a big 20, so that was a waste.
Meanwhile, gilthflo making his way to the end of Misery Mire, so we will have a Vitreous fight really soon.
Ginderdamus now working on Cold Steer, going to immediately bombos to completely wipe out the ice shell immediately, saving him a little bit of time here. And just like Mikan, he wants to get in that corner. Unfortunately, where the ice block trolls in there. Oh, dead rocked. You gotta hate when that happens. This is why I say Dead Rocks are the unofficial mascots of the randomizer, because they are the biggest trolls you will ever find. They are so random, and they're almost guaranteed to get in your way.
Meanwhile, gilthflo doing the safety strats right here, using the Cane of Burn to kind of be able to get on the Vitreous mold and get rid of all the eyeballs without having to take damage from the slime.
So right now, the main item that we are unaccounted for, the 2 items that we're unaccounted for are the mirror and the bow.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is where are those hiding? Because we need the mirror to get a Swamp Palace, which we know is which at this point, actually no. Eastern and Swamp are the only 2 dungeons we don't know which ones are pendant, which one are crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them are being blocked by one item, either the bow or the mirror. 300 rupees are in the first chest.
I think we just got the mirror on gilthflo's screen from Vitreous.
Oh, holy cow! Mirror on Vitreous! What a find!
Wow. Okay, so that opens up a bit.
Yeah, the question is, does he know that the boots are on Lake Hylia Island? Because if not, he's going to find out soon, and he's going to want to pick those up.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of mirror locations to check as well. There's the first chest in Swamp Palace, which has honestly been the small key for Swamp Palace a number of times. So there are quite a number of options available to him right now.
Also, I think Mikan just picked up the big key for Ganon's Tower in Turtle Rock. Okay, I could be wrong.
Yes, chat seems to be confirming that right now.
Yeah, we have found the big key for Ganon's Tower, folks.
Yeah, the big key for Ganon's Tower being the reason we don't do the big key guessing game in Keysanities, because it can be anywhere. It can even still be in Ganon's Tower. We just don't know. We have to look all over the world to find it.
Yeah, another 300 for Mikan there. I think that's the last one. Oh, we found another big key in the checkerboard cave. We haven't seen this yet. And it is the big key for Dark Palace.
Dark
We've got the pod big key.
Interesting, interesting.
That is helpful because pod is a crystal, so we needed that big key.
We definitely did. But where is the bow?
Also, shout out to Laura the Beaver in chat. I mean, you could guess a number between 1 and 126 if you were really brave. I've seen people do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's Mikan. He's gonna grab the key. Oh, he was Mario there for a minute.
That's the bunny. That's the bunny sprite for Sonic is Mario.
Super Mario World Mario, to be precise, which I just love because that's my favorite game of all time. But yeah, as you can see, he grabbed the key. He did not open that door, though, because if he opened that door and he grabbed that chest, he would not have enough keys to finish the dungeon. So he's kind of banking that that last chest will not be something.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him, he can't check. Again, he's going to regret not having the mirror, and unfortunately now that we know where it is, he's going to really regret not having that. Since it's in Misery Mire, Ginderdamus now heading back into Mire. He's going to finish that up.
Not to mention, Mikan turned away from Misery Mire earlier because he did not have the lamp, and he still does not have the lamp because he has not gone back into Thieves Town. So if that continues to hold him off, then it's going to be a while till he gets that mirror.
He is banking on Laser Bridge at this point, having at least one of the items he's looking for, which we know one of them won't be there. He's hoping the boat Butter Sword.
Ooh.
So we now have all 4 sword upgrades accounted for, but he is hoping at this point that the bow is on Laser Bridge, since that is one of the few places we have not checked yet.
We have not seen that yet.
Also, Walther 4 also in Turtle Rock right now.
He does not have the fire rod, though.
Yeah, that's a bit of a risk, especially since we know Pod Big Key requires it.
Fire rod, if I remember correctly, was in the Peg Cave, so yeah.
That is correct.
That's unfortunately one of those locations that can just go out of your mind very easily just because of how many times you go in that area. Pass by that location, sometimes you just don't think about it.
All right, let's see what's on Laser Bridge here. Oh, he tried to make it all the way across to open up that safety door, but that beetle said, nope, not today, pal.
Ginderdamus will have his mirror very, very soon, fighting Vitreous right now.
All right, let's see what's on this Laser Bridge. And unfortunately, Mikan does not have the cane or burner or the cape to get around these lasers, so he's going to do this the hard way. Finds triple bombs to the first chest. We're watching this very intently here. What's in chest number 2? We have a small key for Swamp Palace.
Ooh, there's a Swamp Palace small key.
And we have another small key. That one's for Turtle Rock. There's the mirror for Ginderdamus. Last chest. Small key for Dark Palace.
Wow, a lot of small keys there.
Unfortunately, still no bow.
What if the bow is on that a big key chest island that he skipped out on? That could be a possibility.
Or worse yet, Mimic Cave.
Key. Ooh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, neither Mikan nor Walther can check either of those locations right now. So it's down to Ginger and gilthflo to find out if that big key, if one of those items, if that bow is located there. Walther taking a death, unfortunately, in Turtle Rock, not welcomed. As Mikan makes his play on Trinex. With that Butter Sword, though, he's going to have a very easy fight against Trinex.
Yeah, melts Trinex like butter, believe it or not. And yeah, he goes down. And this will give him the other 5-6 crystals, so this will put Pyramid Fairy in play for him.
Very nice, quick, clean fight there for Mikan. Let's see what Trinex drops. And he's got a big key, for
ice.
Desert.
Oh, Desert. Okay. Well. I'm just really wanting that Ice Palace big key to come back and haunt them too. Sorry.
Yeah, but hey, having the big key for Desert, certainly not bad. One thing to note, the crystal you might have noticed was a different color there. If you grab a key off of the boss, the crystals will change colors. It doesn't affect anything. It's just a sprite glitch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are you doing?
He's going back in to get that big key chest.
Ah, he can get it now, so he wants to check that. I don't blame him. I mean, I would have considered at least coming back after he got the mirror, but he doesn't know where the mirror is, so I can understand that. And speaking of Swamp Palace, Ginderdamus was making an early check in the swamp, but couldn't find much, unfortunately. He cannot go any further.
Yeah, Swamp Palace is pretty much the same as it is in open mode and standard mode, with the sole difference that in addition to the 4 items you need to get through it, you also need to find the small key to Swamp Palace to get through it. Because in the vanilla game, or vanilla randomizer, open mode, standard mode, whatever, that small key is in that very first chest. So a lot of people kind of forget about that and realize, oh, I can't actually make progress in here yet. Ginderdamus does get his boots.
He's the first one to get Das Boot.
Yeah, wow,
also, to answer a question in chat, if you guys are interested in other forms of randomizer, we have an Enemizer, where enemies are randomized tonight. I believe it's about 8 o'clock p.m.
The 11 p.m. actually.
Oh, that's the 11 p.m. Okay, yeah, oh, you're right. And at 11 p.m., all dungeons, Enemizer plus boss randomizer. And I just missed what Mikan just picked up.
I did too, unfortunately.
It must not have been any important because chat's not going crazy.
Oh, the Ice Palace big key. Of course, I miss it.
How did I miss that? Well, nonetheless, that's still important. Ginderdamus now checking the King's Tomb and finds the compass for Turtle Rock. Well, that's kind of useless now.
Mikan is in a very interesting position right now because there's been so many dungeons where there's just like one item that's been left behind, whether it's Thieves Town, Misery Mire, the final boss item, the Ice Palace big chest, Mimic Cave now for Turtle Rock. So there's just all of these one-off dungeon locations that some of them we don't even know if they have anything yet. They honestly could at this point.
The right things are going, I think so, because 2 of those dungeons we do know what he left behind, the lamp and the mirror, and at least one of them is almost essential at this point, since actually it is essential because Swamp Palace is required.
Mm-hmm.
All right, finds the map to Eastern Palace in the big chest at Desert. That's not really helpful. That's kind of helpful, I guess, because we don't know what crystal, if it's crystal or pendant in Eastern, that could make the difference there. Scatter, I will laugh so hard if that actually ends up being the case, if the bow is in the Ice Palace big chest.
Mm-hmm. So from what I've noticed, just in terms of what dungeons haven't been finished yet, I think bow is the only item, including keys, that's we just don't know where it is yet. So we're almost in that commentator's go mode point of view.
Indeed, it's down to the bow. That's the only item that we do not know the actual location of. Everything else we have accounted for.
And it's a case where even if someone finds it, they probably won't necessarily be in go mode because they're missing something else that one of our other runners has.
Yeah, I think the first runner that potentially could be in go mode is probably Ginderdamus, because he has a majority of the items already. He's only missing the bow.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And if he goes to Turtle Rock next, that will get him caught up with all the keys he needs, or at least on the right path to the keys. So he is definitely in a good position right now. Chat asking, is it possible a small key on bumper ledge is needed? At this point, probably not, but I mean, I don't want to necessarily rule that out because we have not seen the second item in Castle Tower yet. So if that's a Castle Tower small key and that item is in this dark room of that dungeon, that could be big.
And I think I saw a crystal on Eastern.
Okay, so after that means the mirror will be needed for the boots. No, will it?
Mirror's needed for the boots.
Yeah, it's needed for the boots, but is the boots actually required for anything though?
Depends on what's in Ganon's tower, but yeah, it's looking like the boots may not be required for anything. But the only other place it would be required is desert. We already ruled that out.
Yeah.
And since we know the bow can't be in Ganon's tower, yeah, I don't think the boots are required here. And Mikan making the play on Eastern Palace here. He can't full clear because he doesn't have the bow, and we know the bow's not here.
Yeah. And I think gilthflo just found the boots. He was kind of floating in the water there. He saw it on the island. He's like, oh, I could need that.
We know he won't, but hey, it's still nice to have them. I mean,
yeah.
Gotta go fast.
And again, Bo could be in Swamp, so... Oh, okay. The boots were needed for the big key to Palace of Darkness, so they were,
that's right.
They are required for a key, but definitely required.
Hey, it's required. It's required. Doesn't matter what the reason is.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I meant mirror, not boots. My bad.
Yeah, because the mirrors, as Magic Terra points out, the pod bit key was in checkerboard case, so mirror is absolutely required.
Okay, go.
How ironic! Mikan's doing the dark rooms in Eastern Palace. He's the only one who really has to do this in the dark at this point because he has not found the lamp, and we know where the lamp is. If he never finds the lamp, he's going to kick himself so hard when we talk with him later. I guarantee it.
Yeah, yeah. Especially considering that he did, like, opt to not do Misery Mire Dark Room because of that. And see, if he did, he would have had the mirror so early, too, if he did go for that Dark Room.
All right, so what's Mikan's next play here? Is Ginderdamus finally making his play into Turtle Rock? He is a lot more equipped for this now, so who knows what he'll find.
Limp 3324, the lamp is in the big chest in Thieves Town. When Mikan went through there initially, he did not have the small key to get to that big chest, so he attempted to just skip it and has not gone back to it ever since.
Yeah, he does have the big key, or he does have that key now. He found it in Skull Woods, but unfortunately he has not gone back to check that.
Which he is in the area now. He could check it. He could be checking the big key to Skull Woods as well. I don't think that's been checked either.
No, it is not. This could be huge for Mikan if he finds the bow in that Skull Woods big chest. All right. Moment of truth for Mikan. What's in that chest? It is just a 5-arrow upgrade.
Not the bow, but kind of close to the bow.
All right, Walther now, it looks like he's going to make the play over on the Aga Tower. I don't know if he's found all the keys for it yet. If he has, he's going to be checking it. Oh, Mikan's heading back into the Thieves Town. He's going to be getting his lamp very soon.
Okay. And I think he's going to be kicking himself even more just for the fact that he found the small key not long after he finished Thieves Town, too. Because it was like right after Thieves Town that he went into Skull Woods.
Yeah, you know he's going to be hating it. I'm expecting some frustration flashes very soon.
Yes. Yeah, we still have not found any castle tower keys, which means that could be the castle tower key on the bumper cage ledge, or just another key for Pod.
Yeah, but the question is that if that's the case, where's the cape?
I'm gonna say swamp, just because I don't think that's been checked yet.
Yes, Smart Max 30. All of our runners, including the runners you don't see on screen, are on the exact same seed. We have over 38. We have 38 runners. Actually 37. One of our runners has forfeited, but 37 runners doing the exact same seed at the exact same time.
Firo Oaks, yes, Desert Palace has been checked and fully cleared. No frustration slashes from Mikan.
Surprising.
Yeah.
I guess he's like, well, that's. He's probably just like, okay, I found the lamp now. Time to go. All right, now the critical moment's on Ginderdamus. He is heading into Mimic Cave. He is heading over to Mimic Cave. He can check this. What's in the Mimic Cave chest? If this is the bow, this is going to be huge.
How appropriate that is. Oh, what is it?
I was going to say, unavailable, good point. Nobody's checked Spike Cave yet.
That's true, yeah, and that's been open for a while. Not for Mikan, because he doesn't have Burna yet, but...
Oh, compass for Ice Palace in Mimic Cave, so no go for Turtle Rock. So Mikan will not be missing out on anything by skipping Mimic Cave. He is kind of fortunate on that one.
So it might actually be a good play for Ginderdamus to, right after he finishes Turtle Rock, to make that Spike Cave check, since he will be in the right world and in the area to do so.
We'll see if he makes that play. Now, I suspect that after getting this mirror from Vitreous, Mikan's probably going to make the play on Swamp. Because, well, after getting the boots, of course, because he's going to want those boots. But making that play on Swamp, he's got the key for it now. That would make the most sense.
It'd make the most sense, and he also just wouldn't have to bother with any of those one-off locations that he has right now. Because you generally want to go for item density for sure, and that would be probably the most item-dense dungeon in this game, with the exception to Ganon's Tower and Pod, obviously.
Actually, doesn't Swamp Palace have like 6 items in it?
It does, but when you think about it, with Palace of Darkness, it has 5 items, but with all the key chests, it gives it way more.
Fair point, and since this is Keysanity, that means there's going to be a lot more potential items there.
Yeah.
All right, Mikan just tanking it early on, using spin strats to take out those eyeballs very quickly. Down to 1 heart, but thankfully he's fast the hard part now, so all he has to do is just take out this big eyeball. And with Butter Sword, this should be no problem for him at all. Takes him out very clearly. He's going to get his mirror here.
Yeah, I think at this point he's just kind of resigned from doing frustration slashes. He's like, of course, this was the thing I had to do.
Also, shout out to Peeny82 again for the 500 bits. Thank you for the support, my friend. That solid $5. We'll take that.
Yeah,
Diesel says thank you.
Okay, so gilthflo finishes up Ice Palace. Ginderdamus finishes up Turtle Rock.
WaltherIV picking up his finally getting his fire rod from the peg cave.
Oh, he has not had. Oh, there comes the bombos.
Somebody's frustrated.
Yeah, like I was actually going to comment on that earlier. Yeah, he still had not had that for a while. So yeah, that probably prevented him from going further into Turtle Rock when he was in there. I think he was in there anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can announce that we have our first place finisher. Prior 57 has finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 42 seconds.
Wow. With how the seed is going, it doesn't shock me because he's definitely a really, really great runner. But like, man, with how the seed has been, must have made some very, very, very good calls for sure.
No kidding.
Okay, Ginderdamus about to get his Palace of Darkness big key.
Unknown availability is calling the bow in Ice Palace big chest because that has not been checked yet.
And honestly, it could be in a mirror location like Bombo's tablet too. I don't think we've seen that yet. Again, please correct me if I am wrong.
All right, Mikan checking Bomb Cave. I didn't see this before, so let's see. There's just a piece of heart.
Okay, we haven't seen it according to chat.
Darning Arc, yes. Ether's tablet has been checked. Bombo's tablet has not been checked, but Ether tablet has. Now it's just triple bombs. Oh, and chat pointing out another thing. The Pyramid Fairy has not been checked yet.
Oh, that's right.
And both Ginderdamus and Mikan can check that.
Yeah, right now it looks like Ginderdamus is kind of focusing on, with the items he did get from Turtle Rock, going to be focusing a little on clearing out the rest of the crystals that he can. At this point, it's just, yeah, Desert Palace, so we could potentially see that swamp play from him very shortly. I think that's what Mikan is doing right now, actually. Oh, actually, here comes Bombo's tablet.
All right, look at that. Let's see what Bombos has, and he's gonna be able to get this immediately. He's not gonna be able to see it. He's gonna get it. So this could be interesting if this is something big. All right, folks, let's see. Just a piece of heart.
Ah.
Debate it again.
Hey, Ginderdamus going back to the eastern area, though, while Mikan is, I think, making the play. Finally, going to Swamp Palace.
We have not seen much in Swamp Palace yet. We've only seen the first chest. This could be good. Gilthflo now heading over to Graveyard Cave. I think we missed this earlier. No, I think I did see it, but it wasn't anything important.
Yeah, I don't think it was either.
You can't quit grabbing the wall. Grab the switch.
You may be supersonic, but you can't move the walls in this place. Oh, Ginderdamus has not made a pod check yet.
Ah, Piney. Thank you. Thank you, Piney. I wasn't sure. Also, shout out to a fellow German. I'm quarter German myself, actually. And there's the ball at Swamp Palace!
Go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, in terms of items, Mikan is officially now in Go Mode!
Okay, I think that is actually full go mode now too, because I believe he has Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace Big Key. He has the Ganon's Tower Big Key, so he might be good to go from the rest of the run forward.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, shout out to whoever's tracking Mikan. They might want to add the boots onto his tracker because he does have them.
Oh, maybe Mikan doesn't have everything because he is continuing through Swamp Palace.
I think the chat's saying he doesn't have the Eastern Palace Big Key.
Oh, maybe he doesn't. Yeah.
Because he didn't go to Checkerboard Cave, which is where that's at.
Okay. I thought that was the Palace of Darkness Big Key that was there. I mean, either way.
Oh, he needs that too.
If he didn't check that, then yeah, he doesn't have that either, but...
No, because he didn't get the mirror until just now, and he went immediately out after that. He did not check Checkerboard Cave.
Mm-hmm.
I said in terms of items, folks. I did not say in terms of keys, because we weren't sure there.
Yeah,
so my Gomo call still holds.
Yeah. We're okay on technicalities.
Yes. Also, I love comment by Magic Terror. I love that because of HEDQ, a whole new generation of people are being made deaf by the shades. Ah!
True, but yeah.
Hey, I aim my face away from my mic when I scream that because I know. Trust me, I know.
But yeah, we are definitely in a commentator's go mode state at this point. We know where all the items are that are needed to complete this game. The cape will not be required to get that small key. All the items are accessible at this point. The runners just have to run into them wherever they are.
Okay, Slim, do you see what Pete Galax ALT just put in the chat?
Yes, and that is not the first time I've heard that, honestly, so...
We have to remember that next time we do a commentary together.
Yeah.
They're the real Slim and Shady.
Mm-hmm. Ginderdamus, go to swamp. Your dreams will come true.
That's all you have left to do. Oh man, what a race.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And again, this whole time, it's been, at least of the featured runners anyway, it's been very uncertain who's going to be the first to finish of these. It's a little more obvious now just based on where certain people are and where the items they have and everything. But for a while, like, there were a lot of different routes going on and a lot of different items that others didn't have. So every runner seemed to have, like, some kind of advantage at one point.
Indeed. You can't find the map to Hyrule Castle. Well, that's kind of useless now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that I don't think there's anything else I can find other than those big keys that they need at this point.
Ah, dead rocked. No.
Not again. Oh no. Not again. Shout out to the late John Hurt there for anyone who didn't get that reference. Mikan now taking on Argus. Again, this is kind of an unnecessary fight, but because it's a pendant dungeon. But he's now going to have all 3 pendants, even though it's useless at this point. We know it's not going to drop anything just to pick 20.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. He just does not know where those big keys he needs are. So he just, still looking, still in that position where he's like, okay, while I'm here, I might as well check out the rest of this dungeon. Now that he has, he's like, okay, well, it's somewhere else out there in the world.
Also, in response to Unknown Availability's comment there, great men are forged in fire. It's the journey of lesser men to fight like the flames. You tell me.
No, other way, Ginderdamus.
Ginger, what are you doing? No! Oh, he's going to Pyramid Fairy.
Not a bad call, but again, we just know that it's not the call to make right now.
It's always sad when you know what the right call is, and you want somebody to make the absolute opposite call. It's like, no!
Okay, Mikan is going into pod without the pod big key. Hoping maybe the big key might be on that right side, but we know, again, that it's not. Also, according to the tracker for Walther, he's beaten Skullwoods, but has not turned in that pendant yet.
Oh, he's going to regret that call.
And that seems like that will kind of put him on the track that he needs to be on, because Meyer had both the flippers and the mirror, and that'll lead to the boots, which will lead also leading the swamp, which will be where the bow is. But he still needs Samaria, too. Okay, Ginderdamus is making the play on Swamp.
He's going to be very happy when he sees what's in that first chest.
He will be, for sure. And looking at his item menu right there, he does have the big keys for both Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness. So this will be a full go mode right here once he gets the bow.
That is huge. He might actually be able to steal the lead from Mikan here in terms of our featured runners.
Well, wait a minute. Is he... He's continuing. I'm pretty sure I saw the big key checked for both.
Yep. Also, we should make another announcement. Willard J. Bradley has finished in second place with a time of 1:44.27, improving his PB by a whole 6 minutes and 29 seconds. Congratulations.
Yes, very, very nicely done. The only thing I could potentially think of right here is maybe Ginger is unaware of the crystal distribution for Swamp and Eastern. That's the only reason I can think at this point why it'd even be going through here.
Indeed. Also, Darwinder, I agree wholeheartedly. Willard's commentary at AGDQ was fantastic. He actually put me to shame in terms of hype, and I don't say that lightly.
Yeah, and definitely if you haven't seen it yet, anyone watching, definitely check out the Games Done Quick race of the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past Randomizer. It was excellent in terms of commentary, in terms of the race in general. First time a randomizer has appeared at a GDQ event, and it was great to see it actually happen, and it was a really, really enjoyable race. So definitely check it out if you haven't yet.
Absolutely. Great ranners with Andy and Christos Owen. Great commentary from Vitor, Willard J. Bradley, and Patty. Definitely don't miss out. Also, we can announce Ink Nun has finished in third place with a time of 1:47.36. The wins are starting to come in now, folks.
Mikan finding a small key to Darkness Palace in the unlit section of Hyrule Castle. Not what he's looking for.
He's looking for the big key, and we know where it is, but he does not. And I don't think he remembered that checkerboard cave needs to be checked.
And depending on what Ginderdamus does after this fight, that can confirm whether or not he knew this was a pendant or crystal or not. Because, I don't think he knows at this point. I don't see any other reason why he'd be checking Swamp Palace otherwise.
Also, we have both Prior 57 and Willard J. Bradley in the chat. GG's to both of you guys. And again, Willard, congrats on your PB. Nicely done.
I actually do not remember where the Eastern Palace big key is. I know where the Palace of Darkness one is, which is what Mikan's definitely missing at this point.
Also, I have to comment on what Prior just said in the chat. Even with that insanely fast time, he still managed to do all the dungeons and still pulled off that quick a time.
Wow. I mean, I'm not kind of surprised just with how the way this seed is played out, but yeah, that's incredible. Okay, Ginderdamus is in the Eastern Palace area, and so is Mikan. And yeah, according to the items, yeah, Mikan doesn't have the big key for Eastern Palace either. I do not remember where that was.
He's in trouble now. Also, we can announce Problems IRL has taken 4th place with a time of 1:49.44. Also, Prior, I think I can safely say the bow was the go mode item for everybody because of where it was, hiding in Swamp Palace the way it was.
Well, not for Mikan exactly. For Mikan, it's going to be a big key, but yeah, for the actual items, yeah, bow is definitely going to be the last one. It's the one that's kind of buried behind everything else. Okay, Mikan is once again leaving Palace of Darkness, trying to figure out where those big keys are.
So at this point, it's looking like Ginderdamus might be the first of our finisher runners to finish at the rate he's going.
Yeah, definitely. Like, that is for sure at this point. It's looking like gilthflo not too far behind. He's finishing up Desert right now. And afterwards, might start looking towards the swamp area to get his bow. I think he... Was he at... Oh yeah, he's been in Turtle Rock, so he has the small keys. So yeah, that should be the next logical place for him to go, and he should be following in Ginderdamus' footsteps very soon.
It's only a matter of time. He's turning the swordsmith, but I believe did have one of the 2 big keys he's looking for.
Okay, so it was Swordsmith. Okay.
That was the one I was forgetting, yeah. There it is. Big key for Eastern Palace.
Yeah, do that. Throw the bombs.
Yes.
No, Mikan still needs Palace of Darkness big key, I believe, too.
Yep,
So
and that I know
in
for
go
a fact
mode yet.
checkerboard cave, so...
Yeah, that's
it's a matter of time before
checkerboard
he
cave.
finds it. It's just a matter of when.
He's probably going to end up checking Eastern Palace first. I would not be surprised anyway.
So Ginderdamus finishing up. Pod now gets his 6th crystal. He just has Eastern left to go. And indeed, Mikan is heading to Eastern.
Mikan must not be liking the Mire area right now.
After having that mirror held away from him so long, yeah, I think he wants to avoid it like the plague. And little does he realize he needs to go back there.
Yeah, he didn't want to do the Mire Dark Rooms, so he opted to not worry about Vitreous until later, until he got the lamp, which was a long time from that point because he did Thieves Town first before Skullwoods, which had the small key to get to the big chest, and then just never had a chance to go back to Thieves Town. There were always other locations for him to go to, and I can understand that feeling and those plays. It's just very unfortunate when it happens in that fashion.
Also, to answer a question in chat, how are our runners decided who gets featured? Basically, we ask if anyone is able to share their stream, basically with just game audio, no mic or anything like that. And then whoever volunteers, Feasel or whoever's hosting the stream, will pick out 4 runners and set them up. Not really much more than that.
Yeah, and we definitely try to get a balance of runners who, are very familiar with Randomizer, and, people who have just recently started doing Randomizer to get kind of a nice differentiation of skill levels. So you can see that in this community, like, we welcome people of all skill levels, and very welcoming community. Definitely check it out via the Discord. And yeah, just if you want to learn the rando, definitely give it a shot. There's a lot of very helpful people and helpful documents and tools you can use at your disposal to learn and be a part of this growing and awesome community.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And again, if they're willing to put up with a guy like me, as nuts as I am, trust me, they'll take it. They'll welcome anybody. As long as you aren't being a jerk, they'll welcome you with open arms, and they very rarely have to do that. And very rarely have to be hard on anybody. They're very welcoming to newbies. They'll help you out with anything you need. So please get involved. If you love speedrunning and you want to get this shot, I encourage it. I insist you try it out. In the meantime, Ginderdamus has his final crystal. He is now heading up to Ganon's Tower, ladies and gentlemen. Normally, this is where we do our big key guessing game, but obviously we don't need to do that. We've already found the big key.
Yep, no guessing game for you. Although even though the guessing games are done in dailies, like for the open mode seeds, like they don't do the actual guessing game leaderboard unless it's like a tournament match, though. So
yeah, you'll be seeing that once the Keysanity tournament. Well, actually, no Keysanity tournament won't be able to do it.
Are you sure about that?
I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, what, read that back again? Read that back. Oh, and Mikan's doing Spike Cave. I think we have seen this and didn't have anything.
But yeah, I don't know if we want to hire someone just to actually count items for every single runner, so I don't think that's going to happen on the Keysanity tournament.
No, not likely. To answer another question, Dino the Rogue. In terms of restreaming, basically we just pull up their individual Twitch streams, and then capture them onto this restream, and just fit them into our little graphics that we have set up here. If you have a computer that can handle it, we're always looking for restreamers. Maybe not for this, but for some of our other streams. We have a lot of streams going on, and Fiesel's only one man. So if you want to help out and restream a few of the smaller races, by all means, get involved in the community. They're always looking for more help.
Okay, we have another finish in the SRL. Sigma has finished in 5th place with an SRL time of 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 2 seconds, just before the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, there's always a lot of questions to ask. Oh, and the man himself, Crystal Sohan, has taken 6th place with a time of 1:58.32, with improving his personal best by a full 17:25. Congratulations, Christos. And Saberwolf finishing in 7th place with 1:58.55. Poor Mikan, you can tell he is completely lost. He has no idea.
Yeah, I think he's going to Mimic Cave now.
Oh no. That's going to be a huge time sink, and it's not going to pay off. Meanwhile, Ginderdamus now already working his way up the gauntlet.
Yeah, when you take the big key search out of the equation, Ganon's Tower, not a very long dungeon to get through. You do have a couple of rooms where you have to destroy all the enemies, a few torch rooms to light all the torches, but aside from that, yeah, not a very long part. So Keysanity Ganon's Towers are generally a lot shorter than you'll find in other modes.
If I remember correctly, D2 Kemps, the small key for Swamp was on Laser Bridge, if I recall correctly.
That is correct. It was a small key. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, and indeed, Mikan is back in Todoroki. He's heading to Mimic Cave, and he is going to regret this decision.
Walther 4, looking at his map right now, trying to figure out what am I going to do.
Old Magic Tourist comment. Any guesses on what Mikan does to the Mimic chest when it's not the key he's looking for?
Well, he's already supersonic, so it's not looking good for the inhabitants of this cave.
No kidding.
Yeah, Ginderdamus not even checking anything, doesn't even need to. He has Butter Sword, he has Silver Arrows, he even has an extended magic meter and red mail. This Ganon fight is just not going to be much of a concern at all at this point.
Ginderdamus now checks the final chest, and it's the small key to Castle Tower! Oh, that is beautiful!
And before it gives you the mushroom, which leads you to the cape, which leads you to the other small key, which is the other key to Castle Tower.
Indeed. Ginderdamus now taking on Agatu, and Mikan is back in Ice Palace. Now he's going to check the Ice Palace big chest.
Guess we haven't seen that.
We're going to find out what's in there at last. Oh, I feel so bad for him. He was doing so good.
It happens, though. I mean, this is just the nature of randomizer. There's just either one item or one location that just kind of just makes it just so trolly to the point where it just takes a seed that you were on such great pace for take a lot longer.
Indeed, Ginderdamus finishing off Agatu, and now it's time for the Big Pig. Also, we can announce that Serox has finished in 8th place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 4 seconds. And considering he's got Butter Sword and Silvers, this Ganon fight should be an absolute joke.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Mikan, you came all this way. Let's see what you got. It's just a 5-arrow upgrade.
I'm just waiting for that realization of, like, okay, where did I miss this item? Where did I miss it? It's got to be somewhere. Where is it?
Oh, man. Walther now finally making his way into Misery Mire. He finds the flippers, But he still doesn't have. He's still. You know, he's gonna full clear this and get his mirror too, because he's got everything.
Meanwhile, Ginderdamus on the last phase of Ganon here. Didn't get the torch glitch, but at this point, not really concerned.
No.
He has double magic, so...
Oh, here we go.
Triviality.
Mikan is finally making his way to the checkerboard game. He is going to rage so hard when he sees this.
Yes. Hey, look, a big key.
I could just, I almost kind of wish I could see his face cam, just see how much he's mad, how mad he must be right now.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all at this point. It's such a shame when it happens. Just it happens to everyone at some point, but oh my gosh.
Draconis, he was looking for the pod big key, and he just found it in the checkerboard cave.
Now the good thing is he's not that far behind. Like I mean, considering he just has to complete pod, and he's off the Ganon Tower, so he will still be more than likely the second of the featured runners to finish. But yeah,
absolutely. Speaking of finishing runs, Ginderdamus has got his bacon. He has finished this race, and as soon as he enters the door, we will get his official time. GG's to Ginderdamus in an incredible race, and he finishes with official SRL time of 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 5 seconds, taking 9th place.
Congratulations, Ginderdamus, for finishing that.
All right, we're going to get Ginderdamus in here for an interview in just a minute. No, but what a race indeed this has been.
Yeah, quite the seed, for sure.
Mikan now finally making his way over to the Helmsar King. He's finally ready to end this after all the frustration this seed has put him through.
Yeah, definitely. And so many double dips, so many... I think there are even a few triple dips in there, too. Just looking everywhere for that big key. He is probably just ready to not only just finish this dungeon, but just this seed in general. Anyway, WaltherIV is finishing up the Vitreous fight. He will get his mirror very, very shortly. Gilthflo going through the Ice Palace, going to probably be checking out that big chest, which he does not have yet. So that's what he's doing currently.
Indeed. All right, let me just do this real quick. And Ginderdamus now joining us here in the channel. GG, Ginger.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, my friend. So, how do you feel about that seed?
That was a lot of fun. I was really happy to push the Hospital early, because I knew that, like, when I had the green pendant and I seen the Quake, I was like, oh, I'm pushing every advantage that I can get from that Quake. And then I just, it felt good.
All right, we got a comment on this. one of the other feature runners we have, Mikan, was ahead of you, except he didn't have either the Eastern Palace or Pod bid keys, and the search for those killed him.
Oh, brutal. Mikan's really good, too.
Yeah, forgot to check the swordsmith in the checkerboard cave, and it took him forever. He just now is on his way to Ganon's tower. That's how far behind that put him.
Oh, wow. Story checked out. For me, anyway.
Yeah, but you did good, man. It was a lot. It was a tricky one. This race was definitely a tricky one.
Yeah, I with the early attempt to go into desert, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it right. I've got everything together. Then I tried to do a dark room I didn't have to do, and tried to save and quit. Couldn't get out of it. And I was just like, all of my execution was just like, oh, I'm gonna spoil this. But then it was just like, stuff started showing up in the chests in the weird places I was going, so I was pretty happy with it.
It's like I've always said, it's about what routes you take and what gambles you make. More importantly, which ones pay off. And that's what happened for you. I mean, and you made the top 10, so you can't be complaining too much there.
Oh, certainly not a complaint. I didn't mean like that. I just mean like I feel lucky to get off as well as I did in that seed with all the silly things I did, which is why I love Keysanity.
Absolutely. Oh, it's so chaotic. It's what we love about it here. I mean, we've got two of our other runners are still trying to play catch up here right now. Gilthflo's is not too far behind. He's just got Eastern and Pod to do, as does WaltherIV. And I think they have everything they need. They just need to find the bow in Swamp Palace. That was the big one. That bow just was trolling you guys the whole way through.
Yeah, that cost me a good bit of time. I almost went to Swamp before I went to Pod the first time. I was like, no, that's silly. You can't do that. That wouldn't have been that silly.
It's like we've always said. It's like we said with version 28 is always check pendant dungeons. Even if it's a pendant dungeon, check it because odds are good it's going to have the item you're looking for. And well, here's the proof.
Really though, and the green pendant leading to Quake. So I mean, Mothula was required certainly.
Yeah.
Gilthflo now heading into Swamp Palace. He's about to pick up his bow at last and finally be in his go mode. Oh, what a game.
Yeah, I'm just turning on the stream here and just watching Mikan ascend Ganon's tower there now.
Yeah, he's making his way up the gauntlet now. Unfortunately, it looks like Walter's still trying to search for either the big keys or the bow. I don't know what he has. We'll find out here in a minute because he's heading into the graveyard cave right now.
One thing I find about Keysanity especially is like I left a lot of loose ends. Like if there was anything in Ice Palace big chest, I was in trouble. I forgot.
Thankfully
Desert
not. It was
Palace
just
big chest.
Yeah, it was just a 5-arrow upgrade in the Ice Palace big chest. We confirmed that on Mikan's end.
Well, that's good to know. I'll pretend I skipped it because I was trying to go fast, not because I forgot it was there.
Don't worry, you didn't miss nothing there. Yeah, it was actually, that was one of the... Mikan went and checked everything he missed earlier. He checked Mimic Cave. He checked Ice Palace big chest. Because he didn't have the mirror going into Turtle Rock. He had skipped Mimic Cave. He went back for it.
Ouch.
And another thing that kind of gave you, I guess, a small advantage, but advantage nonetheless, is that you actually attempted Skull Woods before you went into Thieves Town, and because of that, you were able to get the lamp that was in the big chest, and Mikan didn't actually go in that order. He did Thieves Town first and left the lamp in there for a really long time, opted not to do the Meyer Darkroom until he found the lamp, and then later he went back to that Thieves Town chest, and that's when he finally went back to Meyer to finish it up, get the mirror, and then kind of put the rest of the seed in motion. But yeah, then those big keys just kind of just made him lose a lot more time in the long run.
Yep. Also, we should comment, Ace0187 has finished in 10th place with a time of 2:14:02. There's our top 10, ladies and gentlemen.
And not too far behind, Minochi has finished in 11th place with 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 37 seconds.
Nobody happened to pull pedestal, did they?
No, most of
No.
them checked it early and found out it was just couch cash.
Gotcha.
I mean, getting the books so early on, and some people hadn't even gone to Lost Woods yet, so while they were there, they went ahead and checked it.
Right, right. Makes perfect sense.
Though the big shout-out's got to go to a Prior 57 who finished with like an hour and a half. He was like 12 minutes ahead of second place.
He must not have gone to one place he didn't have to go. When I saw him dot down, I was like, oh, I've made some terrible mistakes if I'm still as far away as I am.
No, actually, he said he said he full cleared all the dungeons.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's a really interesting prospect because this seemed like a seed where it was fairly linear. Like, there really weren't a lot of required double dips. You just had to kind of take the hunches that were given to you while you're going through the seed and then just kind of use those to get through. Like, it seemed to be pointing you to Turtle Rock fairly early, and then that had the small key to Swamp. There was also something else that I had, too, that kind of pointed you in another direction as well. So it seemed pretty linear and not like a lot of double dips required.
Yeah, how about that laser bridge? There were 3 small keys there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Dark Palace, Swamp Palace, and another small key too.
Swamp, of course, being the important one.
Mm-hmm, of course. Okay, Mikan is on his way to the Ganon fight now. We also had another finish, Super Nin Taylor finishing in 12th place with a time of 2 hours, 15 minutes, 50 seconds.
Meanwhile, gilthflo finally working on Eastern Palace. He's about to finish this up, and he'll be the third of our 4 runners to finish up here at this point. And Walt is still trying to find those keys. Either that or he's still looking for that bow, which he still hasn't found yet.
He does have the small key for Swamp, so he can get the bow at this point. I guess he's just kind of opting to check one of these locations, so if he could avoid Swamp, he can, but unfortunately, those first 2 rooms of Swamp are definitely required in this case.
Yep.
Did many other runners go and do Argus after grabbing the bow? I felt
Mikan did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mikan was still looking for those big keys, so he did. I was actually wondering why he did. Was it just because he didn't know the crystal distribution at that point?
Yeah, I don't think I knew Eastern was a crystal. And if I was supposed to, I didn't check, but I don't think I had the map for it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So I just kind of figured, well, I'm here, it's like 2 minutes, and if I leave and Eastern isn't the last crystal, I'm going to feel real dumb. So.
And with that, Mikan has got his bacon. He is finishing up here. And as he enters the door, he finishes with an official time of 2 hours, 18 minutes, and 16 seconds. And he has opted not to join us in here. He's feeling a little embarrassed after that one. And I quite frankly don't blame him. That was a pretty rough one for him.
Yeah, definitely understandable. So, no problem at all. So with our runners we have right now, it looks like gilthflo will be the next one to finish. Looks like he just has, he just has Ganon's Tower left at this point. He just finished the Armos Knights. He has his 7th crystal, and he'll be on his way to the finish line as well.
And we can comment that Rudolph Fahrenheit's got taken 15th place, time of 2:19.26, improving his PB by 1:39.
Yeah, definitely quitting what chat's saying. Just some very unfortunate double dips that, you know, weren't really even caused by like bad playing at all. He definitely played this seed phenomenally. It's just unfortunate that a few calls that he made were just unfortunately the wrong ones, and that's just the way it is with randomizer sometimes. Sometimes you might have a hunch, but then that hunch turns out to be wrong, and that's just the way it goes.
No, Magic Terra. Hitzion was actually, I think, one of the runners who forfeited because they double dipped every dungeon. And that right there is hard. I'm not even going to throw shame at Hitzion because I've played Keysanity before casually, and I gave up because I couldn't handle it. So, no shame, man. Keysanity is rough. It is very rough.
Yeah, even if you run like open seeds and standard seeds before jumping into Keysanity, you still pretty much have to expect your Keysanity runs to take like an hour more or more whenever you kind of start working on Keysanity, because it's basically more walls you have to break down in the process of going through the seed. There's more things you have to keep in mind. You have to learn more item blocks. It's just the way it is. It's just longer. So just honestly, our runners getting like low 2-hour times and even just like 2.5-hour times. That's pretty normal for Keysanity. 2.5 hours seems to be a general like time frame, average time frame for these runs.
Yeah. Also, Mikan is in the chat right now, and Mikan, yeah, you know, it was rough. I can understand you're feeling it, but you finished, dude. You finished, and you even made the top 20. You know, don't beat yourself up, dude. You did pretty decent. It was a rough seed. Those keys were in very out of the way spots. It threw you off. I can understand that. So don't hold it against yourself there. I mean, look at Walther Forher, who just finally got into go mode. He just finally found his bow. So you trust me, it was just as rough for everyone else.
Meanwhile, gilthflo working through the Mimic Room right now. Going to be heading up towards the end of Ganning's Tower. And yep, Walther going to be working on the remaining dungeons that he has now. He has the bow, and I'm pretty sure he has the keys for the dungeon, so he'll just be making his way to the end now, too.
Yeah, even Mikan pointing out that Thieves Town small key was what threw him off, because, yeah, if he had that sooner, he probably would have been just fine and probably not have near as many problems, but not having that lamp threw him off completely. And yeah, it was tough, dude. It was tough.
Yeah, Meyer Dark Rooms suck, so I just would never want to make that call. Okay, gilthflo working through the gauntlets. Oh, you didn't have any health. Okay, I didn't realize that.
That makes a little more sense. Yeah, trying to do that trying to do that in the dark with no health, knowing you could get hit and killed at pretty much any second. Yeah, I can understand that, but still, you did fine, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you got under 2.5 hours. You got under the average, so again, nothing to complain about. You certainly did a lot better than I would have. That would have taken me 4 hours to complete, minimum. All right, Ginger, you have a good one, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, gilthflo is through Lamno 2.
Walther 4 now working his way through pod, going to be taking on Helmastar King here very shortly. We're finally getting near the end of this race, folks.
Yeah, meanwhile, I can report on this. In 16th place, with a time of 2 hours and 21 minutes, 5 seconds, we have Strumpet Playa. And right behind him, with a 1 second difference, we have Magilord with a 17th place finish of 2 hours, 21 minutes, 6 seconds. And we also have Leak Games finishing in 18th with 2 hours, 22 minutes, 10 seconds.
And while we're waiting to finish these races up, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what's happening later today, because we have two other Link to the Past randomizer daily races. We have an open mode race at 8 p.m. here tonight with commentators Dr. Bob Tasek and the Gypsy. And at 11 o'clock, we have an all dungeons randomizer race plus bosses over on Speed Gaming 2, or right here on Speed Gaming 2, with Jaxus X and G Wizard commentating. So if you guys want some more randomizer action, there's plenty of that going on. Not to mention the boatload of races and tournaments going on here on Speed Gaming. So please, if you enjoyed this race, give Speed Gaming 1 through 4 a follow on Twitch so you don't miss out on all the action. I know I do. I follow all those channels, and there are so many great races going on by so many great communities. You don't want to miss out.
Yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, Hexmaze finishes in 19th place with a time of 2 hours, 25 minutes, 44 seconds. To answer your question in chat, the last race that was mentioned is an all dungeons, which means all dungeons have to be completed, even Agate Tower. Randomizer, which means all the enemies in the world are randomized, and bosses will also be randomized as well. So that's what's happening tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to check that out, it should be pretty intense, and Randomizer can be quite the experience.
Trust me, I've seen a few randomizer races. They get crazy after a while, especially if the bosses are randomized too.
Mm-hmm. We got two more finishes. Gonspore finishing in 20th place with a time of 2 hours, 26 minutes, 37 seconds. And Recitador in 21st place with a time of 2 hours, 26 minutes, 51 seconds. So GG those guys, making it just under the 2 hour 30 mark as well. And looks like gilthflo will also be joining them in under that 2 hour 30 mark as well.
All right, gilthflo now finishing up back at 2. He's onto the big pig now. And Walther 4 finally making it on his way through Eastern Palace. He's almost over to the Armos Knights. He's ready to finish this up.
Mm-hmm. Daltumb finishing 22nd, 2 hours, 27 minutes, 40 seconds. But yeah, gilthflo just showing like how fast Buttered Sword Ganon fights usually go. Just takes, I believe, like 8 hits, or is it? I think it's 8. It's 8 or 6.
Yeah, he's already on. He's already on the last phases now. So yeah, he's really quickly catching up.
Yeah, just a couple of hits, and then phases will just go very, very quickly. And Walther is on his way to Ganon's Tower. Just needs to make the climb up Death Mountain, and he will be there as well.
Oh, gilthflo taking a fall to Ganon.
Ooh, it's bonk, doing some bonks to show his frustration. I don't blame him. Sometimes Ganon, like those, just the hitboxes on that and just the recoil you can take from just getting hit there can be really, really inconsistent and really annoying. Wasn't even close to the edge, but the knockback just pushed him all the way to the edge, making him fall off. And Chad also pointed out that was the final hit too, so that's also really annoying.
That's always the worst, when you're down to that last hit and then you get sniped at the last second. Oh, it's brutal. It just tears your soul apart knowing that.
The chat asking what kind of burrito is Argus. Well, it would definitely be a seafood burrito.
Oh, not again!
No! When I saw him warping down, I was like, oh no, he's going to go right on top of him too.
Oh my god, that is the first time it, bad luck. Second time,
Yeah.
you just feel embarrassed.
And again, this scene's been going on for 2 hours and 30 minutes. He's probably just really anxious to finish this, so just thinking, okay, let's do this very quickly. Let's get this over with. Oh, why did I just stand right there?
Oh man. And he's giving Walther the chance to catch up. If he keeps falling like this, Walther could steal it. I doubt it'll happen, but you never know at this rate.
Yeah. gilthflo does seem to have like the previous phases down pat, though. He knows how many hits he needs. He even uses the Burnicane for some safety too, so he knows what he's doing for this first part. Just trying to get that last part without having that ridiculous knockback.
Thankfully, he had that blue push and he get his health and magic back up too.
Mm-hmm. After this, Argus is never going to work for Ganon ever again.
All right, come on, gilthflo. Don't fall this time. You can do it. We believe in you. Do not believe in yourself. Believe in the me who believes in you.
Okay, that's 2 hits. Now don't... Okay, I think he's fine. Oh, okay, that was the last
There he
hit.
goes.
Okay.
He got it.
We good. We got this.
And he finishes with in 23rd place with official time of 2 hours, 33 minutes, and 56 seconds. GG, gilthflo. And he is going to join us here in the channel here shortly. Third time's the charm for gilthflo. So now it's down to Walther 4.
And he's already on the last leg of Ganon's tower, so he'll be finishing very, very shortly.
All right, we have gilthflo joining us here in the channel now. Unmute your mic and let us know how that seed went for you there, buddy.
So with that seed, I went tilt right from the start with the 2 deaths I had early on, and then threw my whole game off until the end, and then I started coming back and went full tilt once again once the 2 Ganon falls happened.
Yeah, those Ganon fights were definitely pretty rough, and especially that first one. Like that knockback he has sometimes is absolutely ridiculous. Like, you weren't even like near the platform, and you still fell off. It's just really unpredictable how that's going to go.
Yeah.
So, were there any like, just from your observation from going to this seed, what do you think was like the big, I guess, some people call it the big troll, the big roadblock you're dealing with the whole seed, I guess?
I really think it was the bow and swamp. Like, I did not want to go to swamp. I didn't want to do that pendant, and then I checked everything else, and I had to dip in the swamp. Thankfully, it was only in the second chest.
Yeah, definitely. And another one was also just, I mean, they did kind of give you like some kind of progression towards it anyway, but also just the the mirror inside Misery Mire. That was also a big one too.
Yeah. As soon as I was able to go into Mire, though, I dove into that, so I was pretty happy with that find.
Yeah, definitely a seed where it's just like it does paint some kind of a picture of what you're supposed to do, but again, it's just so hard to make all those calls. I mean, when you look at like Misery Mire and Turtle Rock, because Turtle Rock did have that progression in the swamp as well. It's just so hard to make that call. Like, do I risk going into dungeons that are kind of classified as the toughest dungeons in the game, dungeons 6 and 7, the vanilla game, but they have progression. If you have the items to get in there, you really should. And it seemed like this was a seed where it just really told you to go there, and that's probably why there were some really fast finishers prior finishing an hour and 32 minutes, which was absolutely insane, going through all dungeons, as he later said in chat too. So this was a seed where you literally had to go almost everywhere.
All right, Walther now finally on Ganon as well. He's about to finish this up here pretty soon. Also, apparently, Walther bombed the validation chest at the end there out of frustration.
Who needs it?
If I recall correctly, that had the small key to Hyrule Tower.
Yeah, it did.
If he actually opened that and saw what was in it, he had a reason to bomb it.
Very quickly, before Walther finishes, we do have another finish. Dr. Bob Tastic finishing in 24th place with a 2 hour, 37 minute, 45 second time.
gilthflo, if it makes you feel any better, you weren't the only one who had it rough. Mikan is in the chat as well. Had a lot of trouble finishing that up. So you weren't the only one who had a rough time with this seed. And Walther now finally finishing off Gannon, enters the room and finishes with it in 25th with a time of 2:39.37.
And he will also be joining us as well for a small chat. And then that will be it, because that is the last of our featured runners to finish.
All right, Walther now joining us here in the channel. GG, Walther.
Yeah, thanks.
So how do you
And
feel? Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, and I'm sorry for what you just witnessed.
You weren't the only one who had a hard time, Walther. Do not feel bad at all. All of our runners had a really tough time. I mean, Mikan had trouble finding keys. Gilthflo over here fell twice to Gannon, so don't beat yourself up. You did just fine.
Yeah, it felt like my brain just had a meltdown. I just forgot, like, everything.
Understandable. I mean, it's Keysanity. Keysanity is a very challenging mode. I mean, I've played it casually. I know how hard Keysanity can be, so I feel for you there. But hey, you finished. That's what matters. You finished. You got through. You toughed it out, and you got through to the end. So don't don't beat yourself up. You did just fine.
Did you see when one of the dead rocks hit me on the way to Turtle Rock?
Yeah,
we did. We actually got a clip of that where you went invisible and had to save and quit because it wouldn't. What the heck happened there?
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, we were definitely confused about that. Where'd he go? Don't know.
Yeah, this never happened before. What is this, GDQ?
Shadow.
Also, this has never happened before. What is this, GDQ all of a sudden? Oh, that was a weird thing to see. If anyone hasn't seen it yet, go check the clips. There's a clip where, he gets hit by a dead rock, and all of a sudden he just disappears. He doesn't even blink. He just disappears completely.
So, definitely the question or the topic on everyone's mind. What did you think of that bow placement?
I wasn't too surprised because I knew I had to found the flippers, so I thought the bow was gonna be flipper locked. Because I never found the bow.
Right.
But someone actually wrote in the SRL that swamp was a waste of time, so I waited to the last moment to go to swamp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it was Saberwolf who kind of spoiled that in the chat, and it kind of threw you off course there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess when you think about it, it wasn't so much that the bow was trolly, it was that the two things you needed to even get the bow in Swamp, the mirror, which was at the end of Misery Mire, and then the small key, which was at the end of Turtle Rock. So you already had to go through, like, pretty much two big dungeons in their entirety just to even get that bow in the first place. So that's kind of what was the big thing about that particular location.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Mire straight away because we had a flute, like the mitts and the cane and big key and like everything except Quake, and it took a very long time to find Quake.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you did kind of wait a bit before you checked the green pennant item, but yeah, that was where that Quake was.
Well, we can't really stay too long, unfortunately. It's already been a long enough night here. But any final words from you before we wrap things up?
Not really, except for thanks for commentating the race and to the trackers and everyone involving making all these daily races.
Well, thank you for running this for us and allowing us to restream you for our entertainment here. We had a lot of fun with this. In the meantime, folks, like I said, don't forget we've got the open mode race at 8 p.m. We've got the Randomizer and all dungeons run at 11 p.m. And we have a ton of other races of other games going on all day long, all week long here on Speed Gaming. So be sure to follow us on all of our channels, Speed Gaming 1 through 4. And of course, our some of our stuff happening on Randomania 1 through 4 as well, so you don't want to miss out on that. And make sure you keep an eye on all those channels for all the fun you have. And make sure you give all of our runners a follow on Twitch, because they definitely deserve it. Ginderdamus, Mikan, gilthflo, and WaltherIV. Please give them a follow. They deserve your love. And shout out, of course, to our trackers, Dawning Arc, and IB Karma. And of course, myself and my co-commentator, Slim Kirby. Give us a follow as well. We got good stuff going on for you guys. In the meantime, we want to finish this up for you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As I always like to say, rock on, everyone.
Rock on indeed. And one quick thing as well, before I sign out, there is also the Keysanity tournament at the end of the month. If you're interested in this playstyle, in terms of running it or watching more of it, it will be happening at the end of the month. I'm going to go ahead and post this. Yeah, there's all the information for the Keysanity tournament, so definitely check that out as well. It signups close on 26th, and it'll begin on the 29th of this month. So if you want to see more of that, definitely check it out. Should be a lot of fun, very entertaining. But until then, this has been Slim Kirby. Also sign out as well. See you guys later for the other dailies. 8 p.m. for the Open, 11 p.m. for the Randomizer. Have a good afternoon. See you guys later.